All right. Hello and welcome to another edition of Interview with DJ Nocturna. This interview will air on Saturday, September 4th, 2021. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just search for DJ Nocturna on YouTube if you're listening on my podcast or listening on the Queen of Wands radio show and Monstap Radio. And don't forget to hit the like button and the bell near the subscribe button so you'll know when the next video will be up. So I'm speaking to vocalist, musician, and one of the founding members of the German post-punk pioneers, Pink Turns Blue. I'm speaking to Mic Jogwer.
Mm-hmm.
Hello there. I should say guten Morgen.
Good morning back.
I know it's good morning for you, good evening for me.
Mm-hmm.
You're in Germany?
Yes. In
early morning, and you're having your cup of coffee. I'm having just a glass of water.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this interview. I'm a big fan of your music for many years, and it's been playing here in Hawaii when I was in a previous radio show on KTUH. I think I used to get your CDs like, especially when you guys had the reunion. And yes, I would get all these music from you guys and I would be like, oh my gosh, I just love this music so much. And I've always wanted to know a little bit more about the band. So I have this opportunity, but thank you very much. You guys are quite legendary because you started from the German underground post-punk scene back in 1985, right?
Yeah.
1985. That was the early times. And, a lot of people know what's going on in England during the period of that post-punk movement in Manchester. But what was it like in Germany during that time?
Yeah, in Germany it was two things simultaneously. Maybe like in most of all the other countries, where the most popular bands were native speakers, so were German Neue Deutsche Welle, which is kind of new wave in German with German lyrics. And you have that in every country, really. I think from China to France, where you have this kind of musical style, like the way the instruments work, but you have the local language, singing local matters, really. And for Pink Turns Blue, I think there was another band called Einstürzende Neubauten, which is probably quite popular all over the world.
Yeah.
And in Hamburg, we had another band which was called Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. He was living in Hamburg then. We had a guy called Andrew Eldridge from Sisters of Mercy living in Hamburg then.
Oh, okay.
Early 80s, you had David Bowie living in Berlin then.
Oh, yeah, wow.
So yes, for a German musician, it was a bit like you were odd, but there were many international musicians of world fame, kind of part of the scene, or let's say even on the fringe of the scene. You could meet and greet and in the cafes and the clubs and small clubs even, and support them as a band. So. And obviously, when you were meeting those guys, you were speaking English, and if you were introducing your songs, you were singing in English. So we were kind of a German band, like it is today. Actually, it doesn't matter anymore where you come from. It's more the sound, the feel, the spirit that matters, really.
Yeah. So, did you guys have back in England they had the Bat Cave? Did you guys have a legendary kind of club over there somewhere?
Yeah, in Berlin you have the Loft.
Oh, okay.
In Hamburg you had the Markthalle and the Große Freiheit, where even the Beatles played. So like in Hamburg, St. Pauli, you've got all these clubs. Not all, many of the very old clubs where the Rolling Stones played, the Beatles played.
Oh yeah.
Who played, and then there's the Cave and Neubauten and the early Cure, the early Soothing, the Banshees.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably like everywhere. If you're living in the capital in Germany, in Germany, Hamburg was one of the capitals because of the border, of the wall in the middle of Berlin. And you had Berlin, you had Cologne, you had then you had like every international band tours or even lives in this city.
Yeah. So that was a great time then for you guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's such
it
a
was
great
very
time to
exciting.
live. I always thought that that period was the best time to ever to be alive, you know, during the late 70s, early 80s and all the 80s. I thought that was the best time to live in music because, you
Okay.
know, if you love the kind of music that we like, you know, we love,
Mm.
I mean, that was a great time. Now, your band was formed in Cologne, Germany, right? In
Yes, yes,
1985.
yes.
And at the time, there was there like three members when you guys formed? Yeah.
Yes.
And so how did you guys meet? How was the
It
meeting of
actually
them?
started as a duo with a drum machine. It was I was studying bass guitar in Cologne. Actually, I was a jazz bass player because
Oh.
I'm coming from a small village, and it wasn't really there was no career actually founding in the band and doing something. So I
Mhm.
went to Cologne, studied bass. I always wanted to join a band. And I met Tom, the guitarist of this band, Pink Blue. And we met and we liked each other. And we both were songwriters and singers. So it was kind of two people singing, two people writing songs. And we started as a duo. And an old friend of mine, as a drummer from my village, joined us. So we were a three-piece. And so we were in the beginning, we kind of made many concerts, starting off with him singing his songs, me singing my songs. And then we met a producer, a German producer who was quite popular in those times in Germany. And we were recording for a record company, for a small record company like demos. And they suggested that I would sing all songs
Mhm.
because they kind of slightly preferred my voice, obviously.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so it was more special or whatever. But in the end, we were agreed on, okay, I sing all the songs, or was a bass player sing the songs. And but after a year or so, all the big record companies who were so excited about us kind of never signed us really. So they were talking. We were touring, but they never really signed us. And then the guitarist Tom, he left the band. He was really frustrated. He said, "It's not going anywhere. We're just talking about business all day. We're not playing anymore. We're not writing new songs anymore. I don't like this band anymore." So he became a radio DJ, a pretty popular radio DJ. And then we had a keyboard player as well, a fourth member, and we had to change. So I had to learn the guitar very quickly because we were looking for a guitarist but couldn't find one. I learned the guitar very quickly. Our keyboard player learned the bass guitar very quickly. The drummer stayed on drums. And 3 months later, we got a record contract.
Oh wow.
So the band was much weaker in our opinion, but people liked us much more. Because we weren't so good, but we were kind of more charming or whatever. So
Yeah.
we said, okay, now you're sounding really special. Probably we just sounded crap, but everybody seemed to like us then. We were three-piece and had radio appearances, TV appearances with one of our songs. So everything went off suddenly. It was 87, end of 87, we got our first
Oh wow.
proper
87.
record contract after 2 years of trying everything.
Yeah.
And everything went off.
So that was like when the first album came out, you know, If Two
Yeah,
Worlds
yeah,
Kiss, you know.
yeah.
Wow. So how many people, what's the lineup now, the current lineup for the band?
Current lineup is like it was in the very beginning again. It's me on vocals and guitars, and we have got a bass player, Ruby, who's one of the founding members. He was a keyboard player then. And we have got a new drummer, really, because the old drummer, like 20 years ago, he decided he never wants to go on stage again. He's a painter now. He's a pretty popular artist, doing pictures, yeah.
Yeah.
Paintings, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I was just gonna say that you really have a great voice. I'm glad they picked you as a singer.
well, thank you so much.
And you're also the songwriter, right? For most of the
Yes,
song.
yeah,
Is it all
yeah.
the songs? I think it's all was it all the songs? I see your name in all of them.
Nearly all the songs. Usually, like Ruby or one of the members, I would say, would write a few songs as well themselves, and quite often, not every time, but often, there's one or two songs I really like, and I adapt them not very much, just because I think it's strong songs, and I try it out with my voice whether they work fine. We rehearse them a bit. If they are great, then they end up on the album. So usually, quite often, there's one, sometimes two songs on the album by the others, a bit like Ringo Starr with the Beatles or something.
Oh,
George Harrison.
Well, how did you guys get your name? I know I'm sure many people would like to know how you got your name from, Pink Turns Blue.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Actually, we were I was a very big fan of Hüsker Dü in the 80s.
Yeah.
Completely different style, but they had one song which is called Pink, When Pink Turns to Blue.
Yeah,
it's a very sad song about a love affair with a drug addict, and how you lose your love to the drugs, actually. And this kind of strong emotion, being very much in love, being the central point in your life, everything that's evolving around it, and you lose this love and this person in front. So everything that's great just turns to blue. That's something we thought was kind of programmatic for our songs, really. So
it's a great title.
Many of our songs are quite melancholic. But very often they have something to do with something very positive in the way, like something people like to fight for. So the struggle for making the world image a bit better, fighting for your love, fighting for your friends, fighting for your humanity. But in the end, at the same time, the sadness, if you look around and feel lost, and you have the idea that the humanity is not really evolving. It's kind of a standstill, or people just don't care, or maybe even the people you're in love with doesn't care anymore, or something. So it's this struggle to fight for something better, but you're not very sure whether you're successful or not.
So majority of your songs they're about love and heartbreak,
I would say it's about life. If you so and obviously love is very, very important to most of us. Yeah? So everything is a love to your friend, to your partner, or to your kids, or your parents, or the people you are with. Kind of. So yeah, even love to music.
Yeah. Logos are really important in my opinion. The logos, like Bauhaus had their own logo, Sisters of Mercy had their own particular logo. And I noticed you guys have that Phoenix dragon.
Okay.
Yeah, well, tell us the history about that, the background on that one.
Yeah, that's actually the, how do you call it? It's the sign of the city of Ljubljana. Ljubljana is not the capital, but a big student cultural city in Slovenia. I don't know whether your listeners know where Slovenia is. It's somewhere in the southeastern part. It's south of Italy. No, it's south of Austria, actually. It's between Austria and Italy, a very small country, and they've got a very nice small city, 300,000 inhabitants. And it's a base of Laibach. Laibach is a band from Slovenia.
Laibach,
quite popular. And we became friends in the end of 80s because we were touring with them, and they produced three of our records, actually, no more. They produced 3 of our records, mixed another 2. And so there was always a strong relationship between Laibach and us, and we lived in Ljubljana for a while, and that kind of was very magic. This was a magical time to us, really. And and they have one bridge where this dragon sits on, and we took a photograph, and because that's the sign of the city, actually, and we just use it because it has this mystical thing, and it has the power as well. Again, it's a bit like it's not real, but it is very idealistic, and it has some strength as well. It's a strong figure in the
Yeah, well, dragons are very magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so is a phoenix. Yeah, so I just want you to know I noticed it So it's very good. And then now I notice you have another logo. I don't know if it's a current one, the unicorn with the teardrop.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I like that one too. So is that a new one?
Yeah, we were looking for new cover, and actually the most popular for Pink is Blue is the panic guy. You know, this face.
Oh yeah. From the first album.
Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's actually our drummer being photographed. It was one of the first article, and that was like this you know, the shout. And for the new album, which developed during Corona, like every album over the last 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and everything, you had this very, and at the same time, over the last 4 or 5 years, so many things happened, really. We were on tour in America, in South America, all over Europe, Russia. And we met many people, and we experienced, we kind of, it was like a film, really. So you met very young people, a lot of ideals, fighting for Black Lives Matter, equality, climate change, against plastics, whatever, makes the world a better place, really. And then you have a very strong force at the same time, trampling on all ideals you could think of, really, you know. So and I remember that this unicorn is a symbol, especially for girls, but for many people, it's a symbol of stick to your ideals, stick to your dreams, make something out of your life. It's a symbol of yeah, it's okay, that's a fantasy, but it kind of gets you, yeah, you fight for it, or you're proud of it, yeah, of your, let's say, emotions, and not only rationale and things like that. At the same time, it has this tear because people seem to start to lose faith, really, you know, and in themselves, and the world, and does humanity really make it? Do we really make a turnaround? Are we really able to? Is the movement of, let's say, Fridays for Future or Black Lives Matter, all those idealistic movements, are they strong enough? Will they survive? Will they be strong enough to make this world survive? In the end, it's not only a better place. And that's the symbol for that. And because many of these songs, at the same time, you know, like at the same time, the symbol stands again for pink turns blue. You know, you've got all those ideals, all those positive things.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, you're not 100% sure that you will make it.
So the unicorns, that logo is a new one then.
It's not. It's a symbol for where the band stands now after more than 30 years. You know? So we wanted to obviously we wanted to. I mean, you probably have listened to most of the new songs. You know, we try to be faithful to our core, because that's who we are. We are an 80s post-punk band, nothing more, nothing less. Yeah. But at the same time, we wanted to offer something fresh, which connects to the current events, to young people today. You know, because when I was with a band, I was 22 with the first songs. You know. And that's exactly the generation. My daughters are 22 now, you know, so it's very difficult for them. It's the whole world is not easier than it was in the 80s. It's not at all easy at the 80s, but it's kind of the same difficult vision for the future. You know, in the 80s it was more like, you've got the blocks, you know, Cold War and all the things, you know, and being really frustrated about just having disco and having fun and getting drunk and making party and make money. And many people didn't feel right about that. And today it's the same thing. You've got the people making big money and big corporations. You've got many young people being left behind and feeling lost and not knowing what to do, what to fight for, what is worth.
So you have some singles out now, right? there must be so much more. You still mean too much to me, so why not save the world? And this is all going to be in the new album called Tainted, which is scheduled to be released. I have September 17th coming up this year, 2021.
September 24th, yes.
Oh, September 24th, okay.
Yeah.
Via Orden Records. And we're really looking forward to that. So these songs, how many songs are in the album?
It's 10 songs, yes.
10 songs. Are you going to be releasing any more or just those 3 for now?
There will be another single next week on September the 3rd.
Oh, okay.
It's called Not Even Trying. Again, a bit frustrated at humanity, with humanity. Not even trying. And then, 3 weeks later, we'll be coming with a full album. Oh,
okay. Okay, we're looking forward to that. Is there any special design for the album, like a cover?
The outer sleeve is just a black and a white crying unicorn in it. Just made a little ad. Do I have I might even have a CD somewhere. It just arrived.
Oh, wow. It looks like that. Okay, wow.
And there will be vinyl as well, but that takes a bit longer to produce. And so inside you've got those lyrics, images, and things like that. So that's
wow, look at that. That's nice. That's a beautiful cover.
But it says mainly it's dark. I
like it with the unicorn. It's magical. You know, unicorns are magical creatures.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you picked that as your symbol. Yeah. So before I forget, I want to do a big shout out to Shauna of Shameless Promotion PR. She's always doing such a great job. So this album, we're looking forward to it. Now, I know there was a break, right after the Perfect Sex album came out in 1994. So what were you doing during that time? I know you must have done other things.
Actually, when we did Perfect Sex, we were living in London for more than 5 years, and we changed our style a bit and made a lot of music, but kind of being in the London scene with grunge coming up, hip hop coming up, techno being very popular. Everything around us changed really, and we really felt lost as a post-punk band, really. And nobody cared about post-punk, to be honest. So it was like the smalls were getting small, the clubs were getting smaller, the people showing up getting less. So it was really.
Oh yeah.
We could really feel that. Okay, this trend is over.
How did you guys get back again?
We were invited to big festivals, so we had to leave London because we went bankrupt. Actually, went to Berlin. And we're living there as whatever, jobbing around, just trying to make a living somehow as even non-artists. And I met a girl who was a fan of this band, but she did her own songs, and she asked me whether I could support her recording these songs. So I got back to music somehow, and I quite enjoyed it. And she later joined the band, and we were looking around whether we could play, and some of the promoters asked me whether I wanted to play again as Pink is Blue, because we have so many fans and things like that. So they kind of got me to call the other guys and say, okay, we can play here and there, big festivals, big slots, really nice slots. Are you up to it? And all of them said after 8 or 10 years, okay, yeah, let's have a go. And we were very, very well received, so really as really funny, 10 years before that, it was nobody cared. And then it kind of came back and they said, okay, you're our superstars, our heroes, young bands, we were kind of, they were big fans of ours and things like that. And so we said, okay, well, so people do care whether we play or not. And so we wrote new songs and did this album Phoenix, and then Ghost and Storm.
Oh yeah. I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad you guys had a reunion. So glad. If there's one song that influenced you or shaped you as a songwriter, Like any song in the world?
Many, but as I said, one of my all-time favorite songs is Pink Turns to Blue by Hüsker Dü.
Oh yeah, okay.
Sure, yeah. I know not many of our songs sounds like that because they're very fast post-punk band, more punk rock band. But it's been sung by Grant Hart, and he's a drummer and a singer at the same time. And the way he sings that song, I believe every word he sings. And that's what I like, you know. If it sounds really like as if it just comes to his mind in that moment, and it's the emotion he has right this moment, and just sings it as it comes. Really, that's what I like very much.
Do you like other genres of music? Do you also like
yes, many actually.
R&B or any of that stuff?
Actually, I'm more into I like even hip hop, but more the old stuff. You know, like Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay.
I can listen to that. I can listen to house music very much. So I like to dance to house music very much. Yeah. But it's not like overall the genre. It's more like specific songs which are very deep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see that. I can see you're very deep. Yeah. Yeah. Because I noticed you like on your lyrics you always emphasize I guess the soul in your music.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. So yeah, for me it's really soul searching. If I'm writing songs, always try to find myself again. It's more like in daily life, you easily lose touch with what's important to yourself, you know, so, or what makes life worth living. So writing songs for me often is like to try to connect to the universe again, and connect my soul to the universe again, and connect to other people who have looking for more than just having a nice time. Yeah. So it's more like looking for a bit of meaning in their lives, you know, so to make a bit of an impact, you know. And Pink Turns to Blue is always like on the edge of both sides of the world. So it's not ignoring normal life. It's not only pathetic and dark, you know. It's always on the edge of both sides, you know. That's why one of our most popular songs is called Walking on Both Sides, really. It's really
I like that song too. You know, one of my favorite songs from that you wrote is called True Love.
Oh, cool.
From the Phoenix album. And I always wanted to know about what was the inspiration, or what was that song what did that song mean to you when you wrote it? True Love. It's very powerful.
Well, basically it's again, it's like well, that's basically a love song.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. I don't know.
Really like it's an experience I often had, is like when I felt very attracted to a person, and let's say she was very special to me, and I think I'm a very romantic person as well. So it's like, so
I'm sure you are.
I project very much into this kind of to the other person, everything, and that makes many things difficult, because very often people say, okay, a relationship is an important thing, but it's not very central, is it? You know, and for me, it's unfortunately very often it's very central. So that's why I wouldn't dare to say that I know what true love is, but it feels like very, very strong, very, very important. My whole life evolves around it, you know. It's the centerpiece of my thing, you know.
You mind if I ask you what's your sun sign?
Again, it's Pisces.
Oh, Pisces. Oh, I can see that now. Why you feel that way? You have a lot of. That's why. I guess the other song I like is The Moon. I love the Moon. Yeah, that song called Moon is from the. I think it's from the third album.
Yeah.
I like that song too. It's a really powerful song. Yeah. And of course, I
That's
like Your Master's Calling, which is always a great song.
Yeah.
I like Seekers of the Pure.
Oh, cool.
I like that one too. Yeah. And let me see. Here's to You, My Love. I just love that title, that whole word. Yeah. So yeah, it's a really, I know you guys are like, what is it? So this album that's coming out, Tainted, is that going to be your 14th or 13th album? I don't know how many albums.
11th. It's the 11th, actually.
11th. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really excited for that.
Acoustic compilation in between, but that's the 11th album with new studio songs, right? Yeah.
And then you're gonna have, it's gonna come out in vinyl also, which is a collectible like limited edition.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And how do we get that? I mean, if somebody wanted to find out about your music and get your music.
Yeah, so apart from all the digital platforms, streaming platforms, the only way right now to buy our physical stuff is pinkturnsblue.com.
Pinkturnsblue.com. Okay.
Yeah, so because that's we have a little shop there, and we had the experience, as musicians nowadays, it's very difficult. We had the experience that if you have too many people in between, always making a cut, you know. There's not a lot left for listening, because we limit our physical editions as well. That works fine. So we are happy to pick and pack the stuff and send it directly to the fans, and make sure that they receive the stuff. And we made it out all over the world, and it works fine nowadays. So the best thing really goes to pinkturnsblue.com.
And I know you guys are. I noticed you're going to be on tour. In October in Europe. Yeah. So you guys are getting ready for that too. That's going to be a busy time.
We plan to tour the world. So it starts in October in Europe. It looks good now because of Corona. Everything was a bit difficult. And
is it better? Is it better in Europe?
It's slowly getting better. It's not fast, but slowly. So it's
more
and more people are getting vaccinated. We had a standstill in between, like people getting tired and sick of COVID and not getting vaccinated, but now more and more people get vaccinated again, especially young people, because you've got a higher infection rate again, and people see, okay, you can't just don't care, you need to do something, and so more and more people get vaccinated, and it seems that they will start with vaccinated and cured people being able to do normal concert and join a normal concert. We'll see how it works out. It's politically a bit difficult, obviously. Yeah, but we plan a tour in spring in Europe, all over Europe, like UK, France, and Russia, and things like that. And we already have the first dates confirmed for US in September, October 22.
Oh, so okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
So September, yeah, it's not.
Next year.
We don't have the full tour yet. We have New York 2 dates on I think it's beginning of October.
Of 2022. Yeah, 2022. Oh, okay. Are you going to California?
Yes, of course. Los Angeles, beginning of September.
Oh,
so
okay.
Usually California, we do Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco. Those are 3 cities.
Well, I'm gonna catch one of those shows. You know, I wanted to go to your show in 2019. Okay. I know you went to the US, and I couldn't go, but I'm not gonna miss it this time. You know, so I'm looking forward to that. You know, hopefully everything will be okay. You know, with our situation, and yeah.
I'm a bit hopeful that within the next 6 to 12 months, people find a way how to cope with COVID and culture at the same time. You know,
I know it's really hard. Yeah. It's been really hard, but you know, we're gonna get there. You know, music keeps us going. You know, so glad that bands are still putting out music, and you guys are. I was really excited when I saw the new album coming out. I contacted Shauna quickly. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of the songs. When it comes out in October, and you know, best luck and wishes to you guys. You know, you're definitely captured the soul of the of from your music. Yeah. So
Thanks,
thank you
man.
very much. Yeah, thank you so much for being my guest on the show. Yeah. Anything else we need to mention that we didn't mention?
Just regards to everyone listening to your show, and not to forget to like you.
Yeah, thank
Hit the
you.
bell button, and actually, and people like you are so important for the music industry right now, for all the young bands right now. You know,
Thank you.
because otherwise, you know, it's a big chance for young artists, and it's so important for young artists. So thank you so much that people like you, yeah,
Thank
keep
you.
going.
Thank you very much. That means a lot. Thank you so much.
To discover new music, and there are many young bands around I really like. Yeah, so it's really worth. The music industry has been becoming very interesting, very exciting again. That's good.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's also you know, this, it's like a reciprocity, you know. I mean, you guys put the music out there, you know. Without music, where would we be? You know. So thank you. Thank you, Mic. Mic Jogwer from Pink Turns Blue. And again, the new album will be out October. It is called the album is called Tainted. Great title. And it's coming out in no, actually September. I'm sorry, I said October. September. Yeah, September. And then your other single will be coming out as well. So pinkturnsblue.com. All right. Well, thank you for joining me on the show.
So much.
Okay, don't hang up. I just want to say a few things. I'm just gonna turn off the recording. All right. Okay, one moment.